Welcome to DonSol Quantum Still, where today's headlines get distilled to their purest form. Brutal truth, 100 proof. The world is noisy. Every feed, every channel, every headline competes for your attention. But you don't need more noise. You need a distillation, a cut to the essence. That's what the Quantum Still does. We take today's raw chaos and refine it down until only the pure truth remains. Today's headlines are more than stories. They are signals, coordinates, levers on the reality lathe. Let's run them through the still. The first headline. The White House has officially set research and development priorities for 2027, and the top of the list is AI and quantum technologies, followed closely by biotech and defense. This isn't just paperwork. This is industrial machining at a national scale. The United States is tooling its entire base for the machine age. Billions in grants, laboratories, and infrastructure are about to come online. The brutal truth? If you are not aligning your skills, your strategy, or your message with AI and quantum, you will be left behind in the scrap bin. The cut line is simple. AI and quantum aren't trends. They're the spindle around which the next decade will rotate. The second headline, the crypto markets are bleeding. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and more are sliding as exchange-traded funds hemorrhage capital. The brutal truth is this isn't just about price action, it's about trust. Half of what you're seeing is a natural correction. The other half is investors fleeing a story they no longer believe in. Crypto is always a narrative machine. Right now, the story is wobbling. Watch ETF inflows and outflows, not hashtags or hype. If they stabilize, a recovery bounce is possible. If they don't, the downtrend will grind on. This is the trust test. And in markets, trust is everything. The third headline. The National Institutes of Health has dropped $50 million into a new autism data science initiative. The goal is to map the interaction between environmental triggers and genetic predispositions. On the surface, this is about public health. But the brutal truth is deeper. This is about data ownership. Whoever controls the brain-environment data sets will influence not just medicine, but policy, education, and the next generation of biotech. This isn't only about cures, it's about control. Pay attention to who gets access, who publishes, and who profits. The fourth headline, breakthroughs in space and quantum science. The Hubble telescope has watched a white dwarf devour a frozen planet. Researchers have cracked a major hurdle in quantum chip manufacturing. Engineers are building cameras that work without lenses, and physicists are laying down electron highways beneath the Earth. Each one sounds like a curiosity, but the brutal truth is that the line between laboratory demos and manufacturable reality is being crossed. When quantum hardware moves from theory into production, the landscape shifts seismically. Ignore the flashy press releases. Track patents, partnerships, and replication. Those are the signals that tell you if an idea is real. When you run these headlines through the Quantum Still, you see the pattern. Governments are laying down the rails of the next machine age. Markets are punishing weak trust and testing belief. Science is crossing thresholds into manufacturable revolutions. And data, whether from the human brain or the outer cosmos, is the new raw material of power. These aren't just stories. They are coordinates. They are tolerance features on the blueprint of reality. If you're not reading them as signals, you're missing the cut. The Quantum Still is the tool that keeps you on center, keeps your part within tolerance, and prevents drift. So here's the distilled essence of today. Align with AI and quantum or risk irrelevance. Guard your financial trust because markets run on story more than numbers. Watch who owns the health and brain data because that shapes the policy of tomorrow. And never underestimate a lab breakthrough. But don't believe it until you see the patent filed and the prototype run. That's how you separate noise from signal, scrap from certified part. Welcome to DonSol Quantum Still, where today's headlines are not just consumed, but distilled into coordinates for action. This is brutal truth, 100 proof. You're not being run by the default. You are running the system.